Dinosaurs are not extinct. They just turned into birds and are just waiting for an excuse to show their coolness. To approach the cassowary, you need a shield, like a Roman legionary. But even then, the bird attacks with the fury of a berserker and jumps on the shield with all its weight. And if you annoy an ostrich, it can even get sadder. For this bird, the cheetah is just an annoying punk who needs to be taught a lesson. Contrary to popular belief, ostriches do not stick their heads in the sand during danger. They hit with a turn no worse than MMA champions. This bird seems clumsy due to the fact that its dense body is covered with voluminous feathers, but its curved thin neck and fleshy legs are not. So these predators allow themselves to be fooled by their appearance. In fact, the ostrich is a very clever creature. This feathered animal can run faster than 43 miles per hour, 70 kilometers per hour, which is comparable to the results of the best racehorses in the world. Legs that can give such a run-up are capable of breaking all the ribs of a predator with one blow. So if some inexperienced predator climbs into an attack against an ostrich, he will realize that he has messed with the wrong one and will forever remember this painful lesson. And herbivores should not be imposed. Otherwise, it will be like this young giraffe which the ostrich drove to hysterics. If he survives, of course. Fortunately, these birds are quite patient and are able to effectively warn intrusive people that getting to know each other is probably not worth it. With one warning blow, the ostrich breaks the whole fence. Can you imagine what would have happened if the bird had not been so patient? But these people were not so smart to move enough away. You shouldn't mess with an ostrich. So remember this lesson. Do not approach wild birds and do not try to pet them. If they are in a bad mood, there will be no warnings. Eagles don't like impudence very much. This huge bird was in a cage, so another brazen feathered decided that nothing was threatening him and he could steal someone else's food with impunity. But the thief didn't know who he was messing with. The eagle grabbed the impudent man with lightning speed just at the moment when he was trying to get food out of the cage. This cheeky bird will remember this lesson for a long time. But it's better not to mess with birds of prey, so it's with roosters and chickens. Didn't expect it, did you? So the eagles and hawks are not waiting for a serious rebuff. In vain, the roosters have all the trumps on the ground: powerful legs, maneuverability, experience. If the tactics of a quick raid did not work, the eagle can only fight back and spread its wings to appear larger. And the rooster will push again and again to show with his claws and beak. It's better not to touch his chickens. Even a medium-sized chicken can peck a falcon to protect its offspring. Roosters have several advantages. Firstly, it is a very combative character. They really like to fight. Secondly, it is the presence of spurs next to the claws. The eagle's claws are adapted to grab the victim on the fly. They can fight on the ground, but then it becomes too difficult to keep their balance. You have to grab and hold the prey to finish it off with your beak. But the claws of roosters are shorter, but there are sharp spurs, so these birds can attack and retreat, be maneuverable and agile while maintaining the ability to inflict serious damage. And finally, there may be several roosters and chickens. And if they attack a predator together, they will simply peck. Pelicans eat fish that they catch with their beak with a large leather pocket. You know it, we know it, even pigeons know this. And that lets them down. After all, these pigeons do not know who they have contacted, the bird-eating pelican. He pretends to be harmless and then attacks the pigeon and easily swallows it. And what? If a trout fits in the beak, then there's a place for a pigeon there. However, sometimes they fail to take advantage of the surprise effect. These capybaras do not know what a formidable and bloodthirsty predator is next to them, but they don't need to. The pelican can't swallow them anyway, although he tries so hard. And the capybara clearly doesn't care. Its equanimity is a threat that can only be envied. If you ever walk through the jungles of the northeast of Australia, then just why are you doing that? Run away! After all, even if you do not meet with poisonous spiders or dangerous reptiles, there is a risk that you will caught by him, the cassowary. This bird seems cute, but messing with it is a really big mistake. The cassowary looks exotic even against the backdrop of the other huge flightless birds. Unlike the dense ostrich, the cassowary is quite slender, has a bright head color, but its body is covered with black long feathers that more closely resemble the hair of a Rastafarian. At the same time, cassowaries are quite large. Adults can reach a height of 6 feet, 1 meters, with a weight of 130 pounds, up to 60 kilograms, which is a very impressive mass for a bird, because even huge golden eagles are almost 10 times lighter. At the same time, because of the thin silhouette stretched upwards, the cassowary seems to be a rather slender bird, especially since most individuals are still smaller than the specified sizes. But do not be deceived. This is not an intellectual, but a real bouncer from the feathered world. The most striking thing is the cassowary helmet, the horn seal on the bird's head. Have you seen the attack of an American football player who was trying to bring victory to his team in a matter of seconds before the end of the match? So, cassowaries use their helmet in about the same way. They powerfully ram everything they see in the forest and run straight ahead. This is their way of making their way through dense thickets. Other birds bypass obstacles, cassowaries ram them. But if you think that the cassowary reacts to danger in the same way, then you are mistaken, because this creature is a real master of martial arts among birds. He instantly assesses the enemy and goes on the attack. In battle, the cassowary uses not only his battering ram helmet and sharp beak, but also his legs. It is the extremities that are the main weapon of this bird. With a kick, she can break the back of a shepherd dog, and sharp claws are used as knives. The one who survived a fight with an angry cassowary is not even afraid of the claws of a leopard. After all, the feathered one deliberately marks his blades exactly in the face and eyes of the enemy. This bird does not fly, but its powerful legs give it the ability to jump like some ninja from Japanese anime. You see the cassowary, and then he turns into a shadow, soars up, and kicks with the force of a sledgehammer, tearing the target with his claws in a couple of lunges. And do you know what exactly can provoke a cassowary to fight? Yes, in general, nothing. He doesn't need a reason to rush into battle. One sideways glance in the direction of this bird, and you cannot make vacation plans. Even if you stay whole, you'll have to spend the money on a plastic surgeon. Therefore, in zoos and nature reserves, cassowaries are approached with growth shields. Only they can withstand the pressure of this monster. It is said that ancient animals survived in Australia due to the isolated position of the continent. Well, after getting acquainted with the feathered terminator, you will understand that the remoteness of Australia, on the contrary, helped everyone else to survive, because this bird could not beat a wolf, a cougar, and even a small leopard. No, we did not set up experiments, we are just soberly analyzing the situation. And now don't tease the cassowary, give him a like. Then there is hope that he will feel sorry for you if you decide to come to Australia for some apparent reason. Birds of prey are formidable fighters not only in the sky. A fox is a predator that is heavier than an eagle and has stronger jaws. But the eagle doesn't even think of taking off. When he noticed the fox's unhealthy interest in this person, he tilted his head and went to sort it out. Of course, the redhead could only retreat. Even with one paw, the eagle could overcome him thanks to his huge claws. Funny scene? It's not very funny to the fox. It's good that he remained intact. This cat did not immediately understand the size of the one that he wanted to attack. The cat was sneaking up to the bald eagle, who was just having lunch with his favorite fish. Just look how the cat changed his mind about attacking when he realized what a huge bird was in front of him. One glance of the eagle was enough to cool the hunting ardor of the predator. How would you voice their dialogue? Write some options in the comments. However, sometimes conceit fails eagles. This predatory giant thought that he would be feared and shunned. No matter how, he just doesn't know who crows are. This brazen bird flew up to the eagle from above and sat on it. This is not an attack, it's just that the crow wanted a ride. Well, it's not difficult for the eagle. The bird of prey was in shock, but the crow, having rolled on it, calmly flew away on its own business.